It's that time of year again, the good old Women's March, where women go and whine that they don't have rights that they actually do have, and then they also whine that they don't get to kill their kids anymore, or something like that. This year, we made it a little bit more interesting. Pro-lifers, they went there and they had the March for Life at the same time. And it resulted in, some interesting moments. You can really see a bit of a difference between the two sides. So I have a video for you to show you guys. So yeah, let's react to it.
Within 48 hours, there were two very different marches in Washington. The March for Life and the other, the Women's March.
Hi, buddy! Women's rights are under attack! What do we do?
So I have to ask this question. What rights are under attack? You don't have the right to kill a child. A lot of people don't seem to understand this. Rights come from God. It is where your actual rights come from. You have God-given rights. You do not have the right to kill your child. There's no backing for that. There's no reason why that would be a right to guarantee. Women's rights aren't under attack. No one wants to take anything away from them. We just don't want them to be able to kill their children. So, it's rough world. I feel real bad for them. They have to take responsibility for their own actions. Oh gosh, golly, oh no.
The March for Life is the largest annual rally to end abortion. It's youthful, peaceful, and prayerful. In contrast, the Women's March promotes abortion on demand. Its followers support homosexuality and transgenderism. TFP Student Action went to both marches to ask the same questions. What was your reaction to the overturning of Roe v. Wade?
I was praising the Lord.
We had tears of joy.
After the reversal of Roe v. Wade, what was your reaction?
At first, it was immediate disappointment, fear. I saw it coming, and I shouldn't be as surprised, but it was just disappointment. I was extremely sad and angry.
I didn't think it was true. I was like, there's no way. We've moved forward for so long. There's no way we can turn back like this.
I felt pretty disgraced. Like, I am somebody who's a part of the LGBT community, and just because I don't plan on having kids now or later doesn't mean that it doesn't affect me.
So something I'd like to point out here. Look at the contrast between the two groups. The Women's March, it's not a very pretty display. A lot of them, they're holding up cardboard signs, they're wearing masks. They look like they are in constant fear, and even their responses back that up. They sound like they are genuinely afraid. These people have been conditioned so heavily and been hit so hard by propaganda. They live in constant fear, and that is such a sad way to live. And it's no wonder why they put off such a negative vibe upon the world, because of this negativity that is inside themselves. They just push it out. And on the other side, where you have the March for Life, you have people, they are in high spirits, positive moves. They are trying to represent Christ the Lord. These people, they are wearing white, pure clothing. They have joy on their faces, smiles. These people are emanating a positive charge upon the world, while on the other end you have just constant negativity and fear. And it's so interesting to see the contrast, and it explains a lot about the differences between these two groups.
Which side of the debate do you think has the most momentum right now?
It's hard not to say that the pro-life side has the most momentum coming off of a victory like that.
I believe the pro-life side has the most momentum because science, facts, and love and truth, most of all, is on our side.
Right now, I would say it's on our side.
Oh, the pro-life side is always going to win because that's the truth, and you can't go against the truth.
Look around you. I mean, there's thousands and thousands of people here. I'm from Canada. I mean, I came here all the way from Canada to support the Americans and to bring back the encouragement of the Americans to Canada.
When you come to an event like the March for Life, it absolutely feels like it's on the side of good.
I don't see momentum on that side.
Are you happy with the turnout so far?
Yes and no. I think that the organization was a little bit off. I think if we wait a little bit longer, the turnout should be vastly larger and hopefully more beneficial.
Which side of the debate do you think has the most momentum right now?
Well, obviously, I want to side with us. I want to side for pro-choice, and I'm hoping that we have enough to push through. I genuinely don't know if we do, but I believe in us so hard because I genuinely feel in the bottom of my heart that we are justified in wanting to continue with our rights for our bodies.
We're the most likely to be riled up to make change. So I think with more people joining, we could have more of a momentum and make changes quicker.
And what would you say the greatest injustice is in America right now?
Abortion.
Abortion. It's the ending of an innocent human life, a human life that has done nothing wrong except live.
The injustice against life, the unborn, injustice against children, and the fact that people don't respect life.
What is the number one injustice in America?
Oh, the number one injustice? Oh, wow. That's that is a big question. I would actually say poverty.
Why do we still talk about gun control and do nothing about it?
That's extra interesting. You hear these people, they whine about losing their rights. Rights that they don't actually have, let's be very clear. They can't look where in the Constitution this right comes from. They just want it. They just want it to appear. They want the courts to give them the rights for them, which isn't how the American system is supposed to work, and that's why Roe was overturned. It wasn't even like a political decision. It was more of like it's a good way to put it. It wasn't backed up by the Constitution, so it never should have been. Roe should have never existed because there's no basis in the Constitution, and the courts obviously don't get to decide what should be put and isn't in the Constitution. They decide what is actually there. But on top of that, yeah, they whine about getting these non-existent rights taken away, but they want to take your right still. They want to take your right to to self-defense. They want to take away the Second Amendment from you. They whine, oh, gun control, we talk so much and we never do anything about it. That's because it's an actual right. You would understand that if you actually looked through the Constitution one time in your life instead of just whining. And if you actually, thought, if you used your brain, just use it a little bit. Use those 14 brain cells you have. I know you have it in you. Just think a little bit. Why would we have the right to kill babies, but we need to take away the right to self-defense? What a joke. What a hypocrite. What an actual hypocrite. Then on the other side, they whine about injustices such as poverty. That's going to happen. A nation only has so many resources. Unfortunately, poverty is going to happen. But saying it is an injustice is a little bit of a stretch because poverty, it happens to people. I mean, it just does. It's not really an injustice. Everybody suffers from it. On the other end, you have the pro-lifers who talk about the biggest injustice being the mass genocide of babies, of innocent babies. That is a true injustice. They actually understand what these words mean. They are thinking logically. And that's a big difference. The people on our side, the people fighting for life, they are putting thought into this. They actually care. They understand what is going on. They can comprehend it. While the March for Women, they don't. They don't get it. They don't understand what is true. They don't understand politics. They don't understand logic. They don't understand the way the world works. They don't understand human emotion, compassion. They don't understand what makes a person truly a person. They don't understand God, the Bible, the beauties behind that. That is a big difference there. That is a massive difference between the two.
I think it's a bit of a hard question. I think, and this may be a little bit biased, but I think the treatment of women.
Let me ask you this then. What right does a man have that a woman doesn't? You can't answer that because there's none in existence. You just say these words that you hear through propagandist media. And you need to stop and just think about it for a second before spewing this ridiculous information.
Everyone has the right to be born. Everyone has the right to life. You're happy that your mother gave birth to you, so that same freedom should be afforded to unborn children.
But yeah, you don't get to make that choice.
What about this sign says anything about religion? What about this sign says anything about religion?
What makes you think you have the right?
It's a basic human right. It's a basic human right. Are you happy that your mother gave birth to you? Are you happy that your mother gave birth to you?
You can say that all you want. It's not your choice to
I'm
make
happy to be alive.
You're fascist!
Someone needs to tell these people what a fascist is because they overuse that language so much. And notice how they start attacking the rosaries. These people hate God. They hate everything good in the world. They hate the beautiful. They want to see death. These people are they have an evil inside of them because they have so much darkness that they've brought into their body and brought into their mind that they've been engulfed by it. It's just really sad to see. It's depressing. It's genuinely depressing because these people want to be able to kill children and they can't even respond to, "Aren't you happy to be alive?" Because honestly, most of them probably aren't. Most of these people aren't all that happy. They that's honestly probably why most of them are okay with killing kids because they aren't all that happy with their life. So they're like, yeah, they probably don't want to be in this world anyways. And they don't understand the beauty of life and the importance of it. And it's unfortunate. It's truly unfortunate.
Separation of church and state. Go to Afghanistan if you don't like it.
What is the role of purity and chastity to save the unborn?
Well, as far as purity goes, the Bible encourages us, and this is a lot of the things that people don't talk about as far as God's laws to us. They're actually not only just to serve Him, but they help us as well.
Well, it's the first step. If you don't want to bear the consequences of intimacy, then you should practice a chaste life. And I think that's one of the problems in the United States is people don't respect God. They don't understand or practice virtue. And those are two virtues.
Key. Purity and chastity is key because after the sexual revolution, statistics show that abortion went up. And so if we're not chaste, if we're not being careful with what we do, we're going to find ourselves in more situations when we might view abortion as the only option, even though it isn't. But women might see it as their only option because they're in the situation where they really didn't plan to have a baby, but it happened. So being chaste, waiting until marriage, it is key to, having a society that protects life.
Is there any place?
One thing that you'll notice pretty quick and pick up on pretty quick if you're paying attention is you can kind of figure out which group every person is part of before even looking at the little tag they put on the left corner there. Because the people for the March of Life, they look happy, they look young, they're healthy, they have like this youthfulness to them. Even older folk, they have a certain amount of youthfulness to them because they're happy, they are pure. Most of them, they're decently attractive. And then you look at the other side and it's really the quite opposite. The younger people, they have like bags under their eyes almost. That's like darker. They just look more sad. They look older. They look more stressed out. They look like they're not having as wonderful and pure of a life because of the actions that they are taking up and the evils and degeneracy that they are bringing into their body.
For purity and chastity in the movement.
Kids will be kids. That's all I got to say. Unfortunately, perpetrators out there that cause people to carry without their consent. So no, I don't think there is a place realistically.
Planned Parenthood is offering puberty blockers to children. What's your reaction to that?
I have a 2-year-old and it's disgusting and it makes me scared for what his future will be.
Leave children alone. Children cannot consent to that. They don't know what they're doing.
I think it's diabolical. I think it's only going to ruin more souls. Puberty blockers is not the way. Jesus Christ is the way. Loving parents that are chaste in their vocational state is the way to raise healthy children that don't need to go on puberty blockers.
How do you feel about Planned Parenthood offering puberty blockers to children?
Well, in general, I do support Planned Parenthood because they are one of the main organizations that truly help not only women, transgender, the whole broad spectrum. Like they are basically the ones that are leading us through safe sex, birth control, et cetera, et cetera.
I think that
Notice how she completely avoids that question because she knows that it is evil to destroy the bodies of young children. Even though she is supporting the mutilation and the destruction of them before they are born, she even recognizes the evils of her organization and what they are doing. But who's going to tell her that Planned Parenthood was also created to mass genocide black babies? The founder was a extreme racist who wanted to kill black babies. She went into black communities and set up Planned Parenthood all over that. She's an incredibly evil person. like the founder, terrible, terrible human. But no one will mention that. No one will tell her that. And most people don't even know that. I believe last year more black babies were aborted than born. That's true racism. If you want to, it's pretty hard to find racist systems in America today. They're pretty rare, but that's definitely one of them. But nobody will mention it, especially liberals.
The idea of Planned Parenthood it's on the right track.
There is seemingly far less harm in the utilization of those medications than there is in doing nothing, or even worse, making more stigma and barriers.
True or false? Only women get pregnant.
True.
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 Very true.
Absolutely true. Only women can get pregnant.
True or false? Only women get pregnant.
True. Yeah, I had to think about that.
False. False.
Brother, what? All right, just remember these people that they voted in 2020 more than likely. They're the reason Joe Biden is our president right now. So you can thank these good old people. These people are geniuses. Remember, they are the ones running your country. What a wow.
Because there are trans people that exist, and trans men can also be pregnant as well.
False.
And what are your pronouns?
They, them.
That I would just love oversimplifications.
These two marches represent two Americas. One America stands for God and moral values.
Hallelujah.
The other America tramples on those same values. There's a battle between the America that loves God and His law and the America that promotes vice and the culture of death.
Our choice! Our choice!
Which America do you want? Which America will you fight for?
Remember, my brothers, we will win the day. We are on the side of God. We are on the side of Christ, and we will never lose. We will never falter. We will never back down. This is our country, and we will die for it. We will die for the unborn children. We will die for those who are broken, those who are defeated. We have to step up. This is the end. This is the end of the railroad, my friends. This is the end. We can't back down anymore. For the last 100 years, conservatives have been backing down to the liberal establishment. No more. We already lost this country, and now we have to take it back. We put ourselves in a rough place, but we will win because God always wins, my friends. God always wins. But I am going to wrap it up here. This has been Strange Investigations. If you enjoyed, like and subscribe. We post 2 videos a day here with a mix of conspiracies and politics. So if you are interested in those things, like I said, subscribe. I have been Ron Swanson, your host, signing off once again. So long, peace out, and God bless y'all.